Welcome to the TheOhRawkC show.
Marcel came in, he brought some roses. He gave us like handwritten notes.
Inspiring us and shit, you know.
You got Savannah in the building now. She looks a little scared. Are you okay?
I'm good. Cause she knows some shit about to get real freaky.
Yeah,
I'm down for this.
Well, let's get into it. We got the RnBae Collective, and the artists that will be performing at this week's RnBae showcase. It is on Thursday. If you haven't already gotten your ticket, there's only 6 left. That means that there will not be more added on. It is pretty much like at capacity. That's why there's only 6 left. So hope you guys already copped your tickets.
And that's so awesome just to see like this whole like movement just grow and seeing the tickets just going through the roof. God damn it!
Savannah, you dropped it like today, or
No, I dropped it the 31st of January.
Okay.
Okay.
What's it called? Tell us a little bit more about it.
It's called Faded. It's a mood tape. And it's basically just talking about the phases that you go through in relationships, unhealthy relationships, you know. That's kind of the most common thing that goes on now. I guess it's like something more that needs to be covered. So that's what the EP is about. I call it a mood tape.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
But what are the stages?
There's, you know what I mean, there's the whole, you know what I mean, maybe I could be better, let me start rooting you on. Maybe if I, like how you guys said, when you're intimidating and you got something going for yourself, the person that you're with, they might be trying to tear you down in the process of you coming up.
Girl,
they love you, but when you start doing something that you have a passion for, they might start, you know, tearing you down. So you try to lift them up, and you know what I mean. There's like the sexual aspect, and then there's, you know what I mean, just the acceptance that it's like this isn't working out. It's not going good. So that's all covered in the EP.
Damn, pretty and pink. Like, what inspired you to write that song?
That's my favorite.
Like, the name kind of just came from a place of like, I mean, if you listen to it, you know what I mean, like, you just look pretty in pink. And that can be interpreted in different ways. But for me, it's just kind of like, when you let your guard down and you just come into my love, you look so nice when you're vulnerable, when you're pink, you know what I mean, when you're tender, when you're sweet, when you're loving. So
Not tender.
That's beautiful.
Not tender. Do you write your songs first? Because I know a lot of people sometimes write their songs as poems. Do you do the same? Like, do you take a poem and reinterpret it into a song?
Sometimes I do. I know on the EP right before that song plays, I actually have a poem dedicated to Pretty in Pink on Clock Out at the end. But a lot of times for me, I think like a poet would think when I'm writing my song. So I'll say something, and I'll be like, man, time after time. Damn, that could be a song. Time after time. And sometimes my songs do inspire spoken word poetry. So it just intertwines depending.
And where do you get your inspiration from? Like, as musically?
I'm inspired by mostly the women that my mother played. Like Shakira, Gloria Estefan, Norah Jones. Like Erykah Badu, just Jill Scott, women that were just themselves, which allows me to be myself. So I don't have to be like anybody else, and that's what inspires me.
What are some of your icons? Gina, we haven't heard from you.
I would say Aaliyah, Beyonce, Jill Scott, Erykah Badu, Janelle Monáe. You know, I love her. I actually cried to her song.
Janelle Monáe.
Oh, really? To me, she's a very strong woman, you know. I think she's underrated, but, you know, her music has its own niche, so.
Marcel, I don't know what you think.
Marcel, before we play it, introduce it. Tell us, what is 4am?
You know, it's funny, one of the producers on the team, 61 Keys, sent me a voice memo of the original piano part and titled the voice memo 4am, and so I started writing to it, and I was just like, I'm just going to call it 4am. He literally sent it at 4am. And I just, so the premise behind my EP is the view of heartbreak and going through things with women before I had gotten married. So it's called Before There Was a Wedding. So it's just a look into, you know, heartbreak from a male's point of view. You know, I think, you know, especially in our day and age with the music today, there's not a lot of men that's telling the heartbreak side of the story and what really sometimes, you know, the pain that we sometimes go through.
We're about to, you know, come to an end, but if you guys haven't already copped your tickets for the RnBae show this Thursday, not next Thursday, this Thursday, It's going to be at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
9 p.m. at Gramps, which is the new home of the RnBae Showcase for the rest of the year. But listen, you guys, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to all guests for coming through. Thanks everybody that, contributed to this wine. It is finished. We're like almost done with the second bottle.
Third, bitch.
Third. Oh, Lord.
This is a good way to greet.
Thank y'all guys so much for enjoying our whole little experience today for Valentine's Day. And we want to make sure that you guys definitely continue on following us. And if you got your tickets already, please come out to RnBae. This is something that you don't want to miss.
So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day to all you lovers. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.